Good evening, everyone, and happy Ghostbusters Day. As I figured be the perfect time to bring up my other premonition, dream, whatever you want to call it, that happened. To be honest, this was the dream that came before my Sonic dream, but the Sonic dream is what made me feel like I could do it, like I can, like there's a chance, and I'm not gonna give up that chance. Same for this one. Uh, I'm gonna work even harder now. Uh, and I doubt they have a script for the next few sequels. Everybody always says there's gonna be more sequels, but it all depends on that money and if everybody sees it. And I think they should bring the movie out in October, in my opinion. But what are you gonna do? Uh, and also it doesn't make sense that they're taking the real Ghostbusters and Extreme Ghostbusters episode off at the end of this month. Why? Is it because they're not getting the views you were expecting? What you expect? It's a bunch of people in my that are like my age or older that are watching them. I mean, if it's the views, you should have known that. If it's because you're gonna re-release them on Blu-ray, I mean, I'd be down for that, but I don't get why you would take them off when they're being viewed. I mean, in some of the episodes I have never or I don't recall seeing as a kid because I grew up with the show, but I can't remember a couple of the episodes like the particularly the Ragtime Blues episode. That was a really good episode. Got to see them fashion a proton pack and a trap out of random components. The only thing that looked like their gear was obviously the neutrino wand. But then, of course, because it was insufficient equipment, it. Um, but yeah, don't understand why those episodes are all the episodes are getting taken off at the end of this month. Seems like a dumb idea. I don't know who's running the show over there, but it's a dumb idea. Should have it at least have the episodes at least go till you either re-release them all on Blu-ray or up until the movie. Because at least for us, the people that actually watch them, it keeps reminding us, oh yeah, we're getting closer, we're getting closer. Um, Trailer? I don't need another trailer for this movie. I was in after the first trailer. Um, One, it looks and feels like the first movie, and two, it's not, as far as I can tell, force feeding anything. But I mean, if it's force feeding uh like fight against pollution, that's a good thing. Or like I, which I have in my notebook, all that was in this dream and thoughts that came after the dream. Um, One, the character that I am can speak to Egon, or possibly just not, just has psychic abilities, like he has some abilities that he can use. Very little, of course. Um, and also, uh, basically he's on a mission from God. Uh, he was, uh, he's a Vietnam vet. He got just killed or wrongfully killed. Haven't really figured out which one seems like would work better. I don't know, something just about the wrongfully killed seems more appropriate to the story of the character. Um, Shadow figure, you see Shadow figures just before everything goes black. He comes back to, and he agreed to something from the two shadows. Um, and or it's just one shadow. The dream kind of jumped that part a little bit. I think it might have been just one, and it's either way gives the person new life, a leech kind of life, because he's basically only surviving because the spirit is granting him life by basically supporting from within and giving him these abilities, which he can only do like once in a while. Can't really do. And then if he does them for too long, he starts the whole bleeding thing, or he starts showing his like wounds that happened. He starts bleeding or something like that, and I've thought of he can lift, hold spirits back. Uh, repel bullets, but I kind of figured that's too Matrixy, so I thought it was a better idea, which I hope they have in the Ghostbusters Afterlife, that the mood slime is still a narrative, um, but if you soak it with clothing and it's like 30 plus years sitting in the basement, soak it with the new Ghostbuster gear, it basically makes the ghost gear impenetrable. As long as you play good music, it'll keep that strength. Higher, higher, higher. But yeah, um, and he after he comes to, he either, this was not in a dream honestly, but I just thought this would make it a little better. If he was wrongfully killed, he proved to his head officer, captain, whoever, that he murdered him and stuff like that, and then they try to figure out what, and then this is where really where the meaty stuff comes into it. Uh, they put my character into like quarantine slash prison for a whole long time, and they're just trying to figure out what makes me tick after the character gets possessed and is like supported by, and he's able to like re like heal. He heals and stuff like that. Now that's what just happens automatically. Now the powers, like I said, he only has like a few powers, and you can't do them for long, or he starts like um. Now you might have to choose how that would really. Probably don't want too much blood or anything showing in PG-13, but I mean, they've gotten away with a lot more stuff in PG-13. Um, and since this Ghostbusters Afterlife is PG-13, um, there's probably an F-bomb at least once in there. There's gotta be. And it's probably one. It's probably when Paul Rudd is getting chased by the terror dog in Walmart. That's gotta be a Walmart that he's in. Those air conditioners in the top in the background of that clip, only Walmart has those air conditioners. Um, and it just screams Walmart. Um, and that Walmart in that movie is probably what killed that town's business and stuff like that. And maybe that's the maybe that's what the movie's gonna try to do. Try to make a point that not all the old stuff is bad, but it can be improved upon, obviously. Um, but to basically Egon rescues. My character asks the military people, whoever's keeping him hold, I'll only speak to Egon Spengler. Everybody's gonna be like, what? Who? What? Why? And then they'll find out at some point that, oh, right, Egon Spengler, we shut them down. Either the government shut them down, and they haven't specified when exactly they got shut down in the 80s. I'm guessing right before 1990. That's my guess, because that's before the internet really took off. Um, and even then, the internet was still primitive. So I mean, uh, it's either the government shut them down or the church, because the church, and depending on who at the church, is like trying to get that immortality, trying to make something out of from our character, and they just can't, and they can't accept that they can't, and uh they get chased and all that type of stuff, and my character has to keep proving to them that it's not their business and it's not their right to play God type of thing. And that's why we got Gozer in the first place. It's because someone tried to play God. And anyway, and I think something's trying to take out the kids by the second one. If the I want Ghostbusters Afterlife to succeed. I really do. Really, 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 really do. Because this looks about the closest thing we got to a true three, and actually, to be honest, a true sequel to the first movie, because two was eh. There was some things I liked about it, and there was a lot of things I didn't like about it. And don't really need to get into all of that. But anyway, so Egon rescues him. He kind of protects the my character, and I like learn through him how to bust ghosts and all the. And my character is kind of a science guy to begin with, but not quite as sciencey as Egon. But he learns throughout the years, and then Egon sends him on a task, and that's why we don't see him, or he's nowhere to be found on the farm. Sends him on a task that Egon had him do, like check other like mines around the country. Unless, of course, Egon already did all that. which they've shown a map, but I assume it's the map of what the movie is supposed to be taking place is Tennessee. So, but I would assume there's probably more. But I mean, how long do you really want to drag Zool and all that? I mean, yes, they're iconic characters and stuff like that, but you got to make some new characters. Munchie is cool looking, but he's gonna. I have a feeling he's gonna be a goody goody. I'm hoping not. Hoping he's gonna be a pain in the butt like Slimer in the first original Ghostbusters. And if Slimer is still in this movie, he better be the Ghostbusters 1 original Slimer, cause we don't like. I definitely don't like that 2016 one. Ugh. Ugh. But let's see. But yeah, so and then when Egon passes, he gets like well maybe I don't know. Probably don't really want him to cuz you want to be able to so maybe the spirit within the person is like prevent them from sensing that Egon passed or something like that. But basically he's got to get back. He finds out something after he does a bust where he currently is that this certain spook specter uh hellspawn is like going after Egon's family. Although I'm sure they're going to be getting after them in this one, but I mean that's the one thing they might have to repeat in the sequel is that they're going for the kids again. And then this so Ghostbusters Afterlife is already hitting kind of a little bit like what they want. There was talks of like supposed prequel movie or show of Egon and Ray and Venkman when they were younger. No, don't want that. Don't need that. We got enough character out of them in the first movie. It was they're perfect. Done. Don't need a prequel. They did. If you all remember Dumb and Dumber, the prequel before the actual Dumb and Dumber with actual Jim Carrey. That movie was garbage, but I wasn't a fan of the original one anyway, so I guess it wasn't for me. Uh, but that just doesn't work when you try to get someone to be someone else. Just gotta. And now that I'm thinking of it, that's why I bring. He can talk. My character can talk to Egon, and that's if we want to. I don't really. Again, we don't know what they're gonna do. Other than there's gonna be oh, he likes spores, molds, and fungus. We don't know if he's gonna leave a letter. We don't know if he has pictures of himself around the house. We don't really know anything. We don't know how they're gonna. I mean, if their idea of all we get of Egon is all his little trinkets and stuff like that, then I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. So I was thinking maybe I can. I practice Egon pretty good. I'm gonna be doing him some more. But don't want to get too, especially how awesome Harold Ramis was. I think trying to do too much of exact. I think just getting the emotions and how he spoke and have his glasses. That'd be like the only thing. That's like how every time my character calls him in, he puts on Egon's glasses, and that's And then once the glasses are on, then he's Egon. And then Egon's just talking through him. And the probably have okay, so back to the school thing. So the kids are in school still, and we don't know if it's middle school, high school. I'm thinking it's probably high school, but now that I'm thinking, it might even be middle school because of podcasts. Which, gosh, I hope that's a nickname. I really do. I think now that I know that that's that nickname, I think my character could have a lot of fun with that name. So you like doing podcasts, eh? Nice, nice. What you talk about? Just uh, but um, so he's got to protect and train Egon's kids plus the new kids podcast, and now we know her name, Trevor's girlfriend, which is kind of funny because that's my first name, Trevor. Uh, his girlfriend Lucky, and yes, they're not. Come on, come on, come on. I would think she's his girlfriend, but I don't know. Maybe not. We'll find out. Um, and he saves them from an attack, and they're like, "Who are you?" and all that. And plus, I think he should be wearing the new gear, new suit wise, and updated, but still looks relatively to the same design. It's like it's Mach 4. It's got this this idea is already out of the window. I didn't like this idea soon after I drew this, but don't need that. Um cuz he's got on the new Toro ones, it's got a railing that has flashlight, a modified laser, and like a cylinder. How I picture it's like a cylindery looking thing on top of it, but that's a trap, and it's got wire that goes down, and there's a onboard containment storage, and it's on your belt, and it's basically like a modem. And the new containment unit, it's got modem like lock it in and stuff like that. And then new ecto goggles. They got multiple phases, visions. In this one, it's got like 6 lenses on the sides, on the actual sides of the goggles. And this is like a safety, like a protective shield, and it flips up, and it's also got a special like dome like sensor thing on the cap part of it, and someone could flip this up, and like the captain of the group or whatever can take a view of what's all's out there. It's like a 360 view, and then he just shuts it. But it's got like a blast shield and stuff like that. And then this is all the Katanica, pardon me, brand gear. Now the reason why I went with this, one, it looks cool. Two, It has built-in knee pads for the pants, and the jacket's got a bunch of pockets, which Ghostbusters always need a bunch of stuff on them anyway. And the walkie-talkie can go here, so they can turn it off real quick. And also, they would have the throat thing, and a button to talk. Um, because the actors always complained that the jumpsuits were uncomfortable, couldn't really stretch out in them, and can't really run very well in flight suits either. And plus, they're flight suits. They're meant to constrain you for flight. I mean, they looked cool in the movie, but realistically, and plus because just for the sake of what time of the equipment is really the only thing that stays and gets upgraded. Because I mean, you can't replace the Ecto. There's only one Ecto, but there is a new Ecto, but it's not the Ecto that you're thinking. It's a bus. Because Egon, and also because they showed this in the first trailer, he obviously knew that she was going to find that trap. He also knew she was going to find his lab. So, I mean, let's say there's one thing they couldn't find. And underneath where the Ecto 1 is, our guy, my guy, knows how to get to, pulls a lever, opens up or and comes up or something like that. However we want to figure it out. It's a bus, and it's the Ecto 1 HQ. You could you can't really fit one more letter, but I mean it's kind of common sense obviously what it is. It's a mobile the bus is now a mobile HQ or headquarters or home quarters because you can live on it. It's got it's got uh one, it's all electric. It charges gets it's charged from a neutron from a nuclear accelerator, or uh like Egon, he'd been reading up and he made the first, and no one would buy it because oil companies, uh the first thorium reactor, and that's how it keeps it charged, so they don't have to stop for fuel at all. Plus, it's going green. And also, the new packs are running off of thorium, and the thorium doesn't make plutonium. And I know someone's gonna say, it does, and I'd be like, no, it doesn't, because scientists have proven that it doesn't. There's a reason why they didn't go with thorium back when they were making the bombs and everything like that. So, and thorium's more powerful than plutonium. So, and the on the proton pack, it'll be a red cylinder, kind of like the real Ghostbusters, but that's the new thorium distributor instead of the fuel rods there, little the fuel pellets that are in there in the in the booster, and obviously the Mach 4, it's got more of a suppression, so you can aim better, more suppression. So once after that first kick, then you can just like a fire hose. You can just control it real good. I mean, you still got a little here, but not as bad as when she fires it in that international trailer. Whoo! Not gonna be that hard. I'm surprised she even held on that long. But hey, kids are tough. And I originally when I saw that trailer, I was like, "There's no way in hell she would wear that pro." And then I thought, "Wait a minute, I'm a kid. I would have did everything I could do to wear that thing. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care." And that's basically what this is. That's why I love this. This movie is gonna be great. I love it. I want it. I want to be a part of it. So, and I mean, I feel like I was born for this. I know that's cliche. I know it's cliche, but anyway, so and they drive the bus and they develop a bond and stuff like that. Character can cook and stuff like that. And there's bathroom, there's bunks, there's lab in the back, there's uh, extra sleeping slash dining slash family room in the front, driver seat of the bus, uh, which I've been debating if it's gonna have a divider with a door or if it's just gonna be open. I think it might be better open, but at the same time, I think it might be better with the what they call that. A lot of work trucks have them, but I can't remember exactly what it's called right at the moment. Bulkhead. There you go. Bulkhead with a door. But they they bond and stuff like that, and they learn things from this character and stuff like that, and this character learns, and also this character meets their mother and tells them what's going on and stuff like that. They also got to pick up. I figure Winston and Ray, but maybe not Ray. We don't know. I haven't really figured that out. I think I think Dan Aykroyd's game for anything, so I think he'd be more. Well, the same for Ernie Hudson. Ernie Hudson would be down, and plus I just really like Ernie Hudson. Ernie Hudson needs to be. Hopefully, I know they're just gonna get like a last minute. It's gonna be like a last minute cameo thing. I mean, we're gonna see like some hand shots and like maybe a few side shots at like Egon's funeral at the beginning of the movie. But then they're gonna forget about his stuff and not go check on it and stuff like that, which makes you wonder. Which makes you wonder what happened between them, and that's why when I think when my character after they get Egon or Ernie, they have a conversation. Egon gets really pissed, and then they get their conversation gets interrupted by the church or the government, one of those two. Um, and you know, hijinks ensues. Action, not too much action. We don't need no Michael Bay up in here. No, 2016, that was too much. Plus, those proton streams look god awful. Um, but yeah, and then the character, in order to something happens, the kids are like in some real danger, and so he tells the inner spirit to go take care of the spirit that's about to do something horrible to the kids, and or like hold them, pull them back to hell, or beat the shnikes out of them, or something like that, and have a real tear-jerking moment between them and the kids. He's starting to show like his battle scars or something like that. I figure he was a flamethrower guy in Nam. Maybe his pack blew, or again, maybe he was murdered or something. We would have to work it out. I'm putting it out there, but I want it because it's in there. It's in my head, trailer and everything. At least the teaser trailer. Uh, and and then there's like a happy ending, but I'm gonna save that for the movie for Jason Reitman and Ivan Reitman to and Dan Aykroyd to decide if they want to do that for the sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife, because I think you really, this needs to, I mean, I got the bus picked out and everything. I know how, I just, it's there. Anyway, and then names for the sequels. Uh, first, the first two I have are definitely, I feel definitely are for the sequel after Afterlife. Either Youngblood or Resurrection. Now that goes back to the ending. At least that's how it's in my head. But then for the third movie after the sequel after Ghostbuster Life, Ghostbuster Afterlife, uh, Ghostbusters Legacy or Ghostbusters Believe. Or actually, now that I'm thinking of it, maybe Ghostbusters Believe would be even good for the sequel after Afterlife. Believe, because we already believed in the Ghostbusters. We don't have to. We don't need to. We just need to believe. Believe. Come on, believe. Um, and another name for the third one, uh, Ghost War or Ghost Wars. Just because that comic back in the day, uh, by what's his name? It was basically it was like the end of times. I mean, Ghostbusters, Extreme Ghostbusters did kind of like that. But I don't. I think we've had too many end of times movies, so maybe not. Just maybe a little, little more actiony in that one. I don't know. Then call it good on the Ghostbusters franchise. But I know it's not gonna stop there. I just know it, and it kind of depresses me a little bit. But anyway, I already talked about that. But yeah, um, that's what I think. Uh, would be good for the sequel after Ghostbusters Afterlife, and maybe even I haven't had a dream for the third one, but I wouldn't be surprised if it came to me. But it would come to me probably after the second movie. Um, but and God, I hope I believe, believe. Gonna do it. Prove myself to you. Happy Ghostbusters Day and good night. Valentine out.